Hello, this is Ki with RunScore. Today we're going to be demonstrating a simple 5K race based on pull tabs and a serial timer. This is the way most of us started out, and it's a nice simple way to do things. I'm going to try to show you what you do from the start of the day through the end of the results. The first thing we want to do is go ahead and start our computer, start our printers, all the other things we've got. We've gone ahead and start our serial timer. And we will go ahead and set up our computer and all of our equipment to be using the same time source. We're going to go into the control panel, date and time. We're going to go into the internet time. Notice we've already synced, but we're going to go ahead and show you. We go into change settings. We're going to select either timenist.gov. You can use the timewindow.com or utcnist at colorado.edu. That's dealing with the nuclear clocks. We're going to go ahead and update now. Notice it's done. So this computer is set up for universal time. We're going to close that out. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find out what our port is for our timer. And the way we do that is we plug the serial to USB port into your computer. We'll go to Device Manager, or we'll go down to Ports. Notice that the USB serial port is on COM5. Now, I'm using Summit timers, so the first thing I'm going to do is use the SRT data acquisition module to go ahead and sync our times. Time Machine, other things like that, you can do those manually on it. I like the Summit timer because it gives you a nice, simple way to do it. One of my timers is going to be linked to the computer, and it's going to be plugged in to that serial to USB. The rest will be chained to be able to use multiple of those. First thing we're going to do is configure. We're going to make sure that we're on COM port 5. We're going to communicate with the timer. Notice we've opened the communications and we're getting some data on the next thing we're going to do is sync the time. We're going to sync to the PC systems clock, and we hear the beep. I look at my timer and the time is in there. At this time, we're going to disconnect from the acquisition module and exit. The next thing we want to do is bring up RunScore. We'll bring it up and we'll enter our race. At this time, we're going to go ahead and get ready for all this. We're going to initialize the external timers. We're going to go to my session number 2. We're going to put in 5, and we're going to go ahead and connect. Now, at this time, I'm going to want to go ahead and check my connection. So the first thing I'm going to do is when we plug in the clicker or the push button into channel 1 on the timer, it's going to be, because of the interface, it's going to go directly into my first event. So when I depress the switch button, I get a time. That time is good. The next thing I'd want to do is go ahead and use the keypad, and the keypad, since I'm in channel 1 on that, we'll go to the first select event after that. Now when I select the select event and I type in 0 into my keypad and hit enter, I should see the bib number and the time. Everything looks good on my connections. I'm going to go ahead and F2, get rid of that. Alt 1, I'm going to get rid of that time. Now I'm set up, ready to go for the race. I have got the timers connected and ready to go. I have them all synced. So the next thing, I'll do my normal race setup, looking at all my things. I've typed in 225 entries or imported them from the online service. Now everything is ready to go here. I'm going to go ahead and type in any additional entries I may get that morning, make sure they're all in, and then we're set and ready for the start. Our equipment's now all ready. We go out to the start, and we're going to use that one of the Summit timers to type in bib number 0, which is our URN, and a time, or hit enter at the gun time. When we do that, we're going to go to select, and we're going to notice that it's 0900. We can edit that. We can copy that, control insert, and we can go over to miscellaneous, and we'll go down to our done time and type, insert that there, 0900. I'm going to put the 0 back in there. Anyway, so now we've got the gun start time for that race. We're all ready to go. We'll close that up. We're going to go ahead and F2, get rid of that. We could leave it in there, but we're going to go ahead and go the other way. Now, during your race, as you're getting ready for everything, when you're looking at your finish time, you're going to, as the finish clicker starts clicking and people are coming in, it's going to start filling your screen. We're going to go into the finish event, and we're going to be watching to see when those times come in. As they come in, they will fill a page. Notice there is no information. The next thing we want to do is to check to make sure that the select event information is coming in, and as that starts filling in, you will notice that the bib numbers from the keypad and the times are coming in, so we'll have data from the database or the DTA to show the actual individual. At this time, we're going to go back into the finish. Normally you will collect your pull tabs onto a fish stringer. In the old days we used a hanger that was folded kind of like a safety pin, but we found the fish stringer to be a lot better. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start scanning those in or typing those in. And as we type them in, we'll notice that we are getting the bib number, the time associated with that first click, and the select time. We will go down and make sure that all of these are adding up. If you accidentally get a few extra time clicks or an extra bib number in there, you'll be able to see where these two columns do not add up. Once we go down through all of that, while we're scoring this race, one of the things we want to do is look at the preliminaries, and we can go to the preliminaries, and while we're looking at it, we can see that it gives us the information, the pace, and everything else. We can print these and post them out for the people to look at, see what their time is, and tell us if there's any misspellings or errors. Once we get done recording all of these, once we've added in all the bib numbers, we're going to go ahead and get ready for the awards. So the simple thing we're going to do on that, let's look at how the 5K actual results listing looks like. We've got the information, we've got it. This is what we'll print out for finals or put on the web. We can also look at walkers in case we had any walkers. And notice we'd had no walkers. Now we'll go ahead and see how the awards came out. We'll edit that. We'll notice we have the awards for the overalls and the age groups. that we have set up before the race, and everything looks good. We'll print those out for the race director, and you're more or less done. We can go ahead and through some of our other things, we can set up a uh, listing file to email these to the paper. We can do all sorts of other things on that. But right now, you can, if everybody's finished, you can power down your timer. You can do all your other stuff, and you can start tearing down the finish line. You're done. If there's any questions on this or other procedures, please give us a shout at support. And next time we'll be covering a multi-distance race, a 5K and a 10K, using a transponder system.